Welcome back, your essential guide to cutting through the noise and getting truly well informed. Today, we're diving into a topic that, well, it touches everyone. How to speak English more clearly, more naturally, and with genuine confidence. Our source material for this exploration comes from The Confident English Speaker's Journey, which is just this rich collection of practical wisdom and real-life stories. It's not just a list of tips. It's more like a narrative, woven through the experiences of Myra and her circle. And it really shows how even small, often overlooked changes can unlock these monumental communication breakthroughs.
Exactly. Our mission today is to go beyond just the surface stuff and extract the most profound insights. We want to understand not just what works, but why it's so effective, sort of drawing on the underlying principles that Myra's journey brings to light. For you, our listener, this means discovering surprisingly simple, yet really powerful techniques you can immediately integrate to boost your communication and your confidence, too.
So if you're looking for that aha moment that transforms your English speaking, you are absolutely in the right place. Let's dig in. Okay, so let's unpack this first crucial step that Myra and her friends found for clearer communication. It's often counterintuitive, actually. Slowing down your speech. We often think faster means more fluent, right?
Right. That's a common assumption. Speed equals competence.
Yeah. But the source tells us about Mark, who works in this bustling office, international colleagues, the whole thing. He spoke really, really fast, and apparently his message just often got lost. So he found that by deliberately speaking just a little slower, not only could people follow him much better, but it also gave him the mental bandwidth, to choose his words more carefully.
That's interesting. It connects back to that advice Myra got.
From her friend James, yeah. He works in a big high-stakes company. James put it very plainly. Myra, speaking clearly is better than speaking fast. People want to understand you, not hear every word at once.
Such good advice. Listener-focused.
Totally. And Myra really took this to heart. She started practicing by reading short stories out loud, consciously slowing her pace. She told us it felt strange initially, almost like forced.
I can imagine. It probably feels unnatural at first.
But soon she noticed her mind and mouth were working in better sync. That extra second let her process her thoughts, refine word choices on the fly.
It's a classic pitfall, isn't it? That subconscious link between speed and perceived competence. But what Myra and Mark discovered, it isn't just some basic tip. It's actually tapping into what cognitive scientists call perceptual fluency. Basically, when your speech is unhurried, the listener's brain uses less energy decoding the sound and more energy processing your actual meaning, which, significantly boosts comprehension and retention. It gives you, the speaker, that crucial mental space, and it gives your listener the time they need to truly grasp your message, not just hear the words.
Right. So for you listening, what does this translate to? It basically means letting go of that pressure to rush. Confidence isn't measured by your words per minute. It's about being understood effortlessly, making sure your message lands clearly every single time. Okay, so once you have that foundational rhythm down, it gets even more interesting. Beyond just slowing down, Myra's journey shows us the power of making your English sound, natural and friendly. Conversational, not like something pulled straight from a textbook.
Yeah, less robotic, more human.
Exactly. Mark, for instance, he didn't just slow down. He consciously shifted to using short, simple, everyday phrases in his meetings. So instead of maybe elaborate corporate jargon, he'd opt for things like, "That sounds good," or "I understand," or "Can you explain more?"
Simple connectors.
And it made him sound more approachable, not just clearer. And there was that story about Myra helping her husband, John, prepare for a big business trip.
Oh, right. He was nervous about networking.
Yeah, exactly. Striking up conversations with new international contacts. Myra's advice was super simple. Just practice a few clear, natural sentences about his work and hobbies. Something like, "I work in marketing. I enjoy hiking and cooking."
Just basic, relatable stuff.
Totally. These brief, unforced sentences became his go-to, helped him initiate conversations easily, build confidence without overthinking it.
What's compelling here is how these simple linguistic choices, combined with purposeful pauses, completely transform communication. It's not just about grammatical correctness. It's about social pragmatics, how we actually use language in real-world contexts.
Right.
Myra's friend James, again, he really highlighted this. He told her, listen to how they pause between sentences or ideas. These pauses are important.
The pauses, yeah.
And they're not empty silences, right? They're vital cues. They signal the completion of a thought. They help manage conversational turn-taking. And they act as these little micro breaks for comprehension, much like punctuation does in writing.
That's a great analogy. And Myra took that advice from James and applied it directly. She observed her boss, Mr. Wilson, pausing after every main point in meetings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it made his complex explanations incredibly easy to digest. So when it was Myra's turn to present a sales report, she consciously did the same thing. She presented, saying something like, "Last month, our sales increased by 10%. Slight pause implied by turn change.
Okay.
We worked hard on customer service, and the results clearly show that effort." Slight pause implied.
Nice and segmented.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Mr. Wilson's immediate praise, clear and easy to understand, wasn't just about her numbers. It was about her delivery. And that gave her a huge confidence boost.
Absolutely. It really underscores how these tiny adjustments, choosing simple, common phrases and adding brief, deliberate pauses, make a massive impact on how clear, how polite, and ultimately how confident you sound.
Okay, let's shift our focus a bit to something equally crucial. The deliberate choice of your words. And the key here isn't complexity, right? It's about crystal clear clarity.
Precisely. Being understood is the goal.
Myra's friend Emma, the nurse, she works in a hospital where precise communication can literally be life-saving. She talked about explaining medicine instructions to a patient with limited English.
High stakes there.
Totally. Emma consciously slowed down and used only the simplest words. Take this medicine twice a day and do not eat before taking it. Simple, direct. She even repeated the instructions, confirming understanding to ensure the patient's safety.
It's an excellent example, and it raises a fascinating question, doesn't it? Why do we often feel that impulse to use bigger, more academic words when simpler ones would work just fine?
Yeah, trying to sound smart, maybe.
Often, yeah. It comes from a desire to sound intelligent. But this source repeatedly shows that effective communication prioritizes understanding over, let's say, perceived intellectual prowess. From a communication theory perspective, this is about message fidelity.
Okay, explain that a bit.
Well, every complex word or piece of jargon introduces potential noise and ambiguity. Simple, high-frequency words minimize that noise. They ensure the message delivered is as close as possible to the message received. They are often the most powerful tools for direct, unambiguous connection.
That makes so much sense. It really highlights how clarity isn't about vocabulary gymnastics. Myra also shared Sarah's experience from the bank. Sarah used to feel quite shy, especially if she forgot a specific English word.
That can be really paralyzing.
For sure. But instead of stopping or getting flustered, she learned to simply use other common words to explain her meaning. So if the word receipt escaped her, she'd just say, "the paper that shows what you bought."
Circumlocution, yeah. Using what you know.
Exactly. And this simple strategy kept conversations flowing, avoided embarrassment, and most importantly, ensured she was understood. So when you're speaking, it's worth pausing and asking yourself, is there a simpler, more direct way to say this?
Good question to keep in mind.
So we've covered these brilliant insights into what to do. Now the big question, how do we integrate them into our daily lives? The secret, which is echoed throughout Myra's journey, is consistent, purposeful practice. Practice, practice, practice.
The key word there being purposeful, not just mindless repetition.
Right. Myra herself started with self-recording. She'd pick short paragraphs, read them slowly and clearly, and record her voice on her phone. Then she'd listen back not to judge herself harshly, but to identify moments where she sped up or mumbled.
Finding the specific spots to work on.
Exactly. And she'd re-practice those sections until they sounded better to her. She also made it a daily habit to practice natural, common expressions for social interactions. Like, for agreement, she'd rehearse phrases like, "that makes sense," or "I see your point."
Building a toolkit of conversational phrases.
Yes. And when she needed more information, she practiced things like, "could you please explain that again?" Or "can you give me an example?" These aren't just polite, they're like the building blocks of natural, friendly conversation.
Definitely useful.
And remember Daniel, Myra's husband, preparing for that job interview.
Yes, the simple sentences.
Right. She helped him make this targeted list of simple sentences for common questions. Things like, "I have 5 years of experience in customer service," or "I am good at solving problems." Daniel practiced these, really focusing on slow speech and those pauses until they felt natural.
So it wasn't just memorizing lines, but practicing the delivery too.
Exactly. And he later told Myra he felt calm and prepared, which allowed him to answer questions thoughtfully and clearly during the actual interview.
These are fantastic examples, and they really bring us to the core question. What kind of practice truly builds confidence, not just proficiency? It's not solely about formal drills, right? It's about strategically embedding English into your routine, creating what psychologists call distributed practice.
Distributed practice.
Yeah, spreading it out. And Myra's journey highlights some really diverse, effective methods for doing this.
Absolutely. One truly ingenious idea Myra picked up was from Simon, an electrician. He narrated his daily tasks out loud when he was alone.
Oh, like talking to yourself?
Pretty much. Myra started doing this while washing dishes. I'm washing the plates now. After this, I will dry them. This daily narration, it actually trains your brain to think in English, not just translate from your first language.
That's clever. It's like building mental muscle memory for the language.
Exactly. And Myra also found a language partner, Olivia, online. They met twice a week for simple conversations, ordering food, talking about work, that kind of stuff.
So low pressure practice.
Yeah, and Olivia offered gentle corrections on pronunciation and new phrases, which made the learning process collaborative, fun, and far less intimidating than maybe a formal class.
Having a partner can make a huge difference.
For sure. Then there's Paul, the engineer. When he's explaining complex technical concepts, he consciously takes a moment to think before speaking. He breaks down his explanations into small, manageable parts and uses concrete examples.
Making it digestible.
Yeah, and he imagines he's explaining it to someone completely new to the topic. His manager even praised his last presentation for being clear and easy to follow.
That's great feedback.
It really shows that practice doesn't have to be formal or stressful. It can be integrated seamlessly into your everyday life, making it this continuous, natural process. And, it's not just about the words themselves, is it?
No, absolutely not.
There's this entire, often overlooked layer to clear communication that really shapes how our message is received. Nonverbals.
The unspoken language.
Right. Myra discovered that simple nonverbal cues, like smiling and using her hands a little when speaking, actually helps her feel more confident. And it made listeners more comfortable, too. Created a more open, inviting atmosphere.
It signals engagement, warmth.
Yeah. Even Michael from the post office mentioned he always smiles when he's on the phone, even if customers can't see him. He says it genuinely helps my voice sound friendly. And you know what? You can absolutely hear that warmth.
That's true. You can often hear a smile and breathing too, right?
Oh, yeah. Michael, the teacher, he coaches his students on practicing deep breathing before speaking. It's not just for calming nerves, which it does very effectively, but it also physically supports clear, steady speech. Myra found this invaluable herself. When facing those important, maybe nerve-wracking phone calls with clients.
Yeah, that diaphragmatic breathing really anchors your voice.
It helped her maintain a calm, clear delivery. And Daniel, the sales professional, he shared another crucial skill: active listening.
Listening is key, often underrated.
Totally. When customers spoke quickly or used unfamiliar terms, he wouldn't just nod along. He'd politely interject with, "Could you please repeat that?" Or, "Can you explain what you mean?"
Smart move. Clarifying, not guessing.
Exactly. And it wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a powerful strategy to prevent misunderstandings. And importantly, it gave him precious seconds to formulate his own clear, thoughtful response.
These seemingly soft skills are anything but. They are foundational elements that amplify the impact of clear spoken English exponentially. From a social psychology perspective, your tone, your body language, even your virtual presence, and your ability to truly listen. They're just as vital as the words you choose.
Right. It's the whole package.
They build rapport, signal empathy, manage social interactions. This isn't merely about language proficiency. It's about the holistic art of human connection. The clarity of your words is only part of the equation. How you deliver them and how you receive others' words really completes the circuit.
That's such a great point. It really reminds us that communication is truly a two-way street. How deeply and actively you listen directly impacts how clearly and effectively you can respond.
Okay, but let's be honest. Learning any new skill, especially language, it isn't always smooth sailing, is it?
Definitely not. There are always challenges.
But Myra's journey and her friends' experiences offer some brilliant strategies for navigating those inevitable bumps in the road. Take David, who works in a restaurant. He initially struggled significantly to understand the myriad of accents from his diverse customers.
That's a tough environment for comprehension, for sure. But instead of retreating, he proactively started listening to different English accents online. He wasn't afraid to lean on his coworkers for clarification either. By focusing on his own careful pronunciation and using polite phrases, his confidence didn't just grow, it really flourished.
So he tackled it head on. Good for him.
Yeah. And when a learner asked Myra about how to stop using the same words over and over, the classic nice, good, okay cycle.
Ah, yes, the vocabulary writ.
Exactly. Myra's practical suggestion was simply to keep a small notebook of synonyms. So instead of always reaching for good, you could consciously choose great or wonderful, excellent, helpful, maybe even delightful, depending on the nuance.
Building active vocabulary.
Right. And the trick, she said, is to consciously integrate just one or two new ones into your daily conversations until they feel natural. Small steps.
Manageable goals. I like that.
Another common challenge Myra addressed was the art of polite refusals. This can be tricky. Daniel, the small business owner, found himself struggling to explain his return policy without sounding, abrupt.
Yeah, delivering bad news politely is a skill.
It is. He used to say something like, "We don't take back things after 7 days," which often left customers feeling confused or even annoyed. Myra helped him rephrase it to something far more cordial and clear. "Sir, you're welcome to return the product within 7 days with a receipt. After 7 days, we're not able to accept returns."
Much softer. Clearer terms, too.
That subtle shift in phrasing made a huge difference in customer comfort and understanding. Politeness matters.
Absolutely. And structure helps, too, right? Like Peter's method.
Oh yeah, Peter, who struggled to articulate ideas clearly in meetings. Myra suggested he try a simple, yet incredibly effective point, reason, example structure. So if you have an opinion, you present it like this. "I think it's a good plan point because it saves time, reason. For example, we can finish the task in 2 days instead of 4, example."
Simple framework. Point, reason, example. Easy to remember.
Exactly. And this method isn't just for clarity. It's a brilliant strategy to stay calm under pressure and sound more confident just by organizing your thoughts logically beforehand.
These aren't just isolated tips for specific problems. They're really demonstrations of a deeper principle. These challenges, they're not roadblocks. They are genuine opportunities for targeted growth.
Viewing challenges differently.
Precisely. What Myra and her circle exemplify is that continuous improvement comes from adopting a growth mindset, embracing small, consistent habits, and maintaining a willingness to experiment with different strategies and learn from every single interaction, even the awkward ones.
Learning from mistakes, yeah.
It's about seeing every communication as a chance to refine your approach.
And Myra, who's kind of the guiding voice in our source material, she consistently highlights the sheer joy of discovering these effective communication strategies. She reminds us that every stumble is a stepping stone, every mistake a valuable teacher.
That's a great perspective to have.
So what an incredible deep dive we've had today into making your English speaking not just clear, but truly natural and powerfully confident. We've heard how slowing down, embracing simple, natural phrases, strategically using pauses, practicing consistently, even just talking to yourself and mastering polite language can fundamentally transform how you communicate.
This deep dive really reinforces that improving your spoken English extends far beyond mere linguistic proficiency, doesn't it? It's truly about building bridges, fostering genuine connections, and ensuring your message is not just heard, but profoundly understood. It really empowers you in every interaction, whether you're with a colleague, a customer, or maybe a new friend across the globe.
So, as you reflect on Myra's journey and the insights from her friends, what small, simple habit will you begin today to speak more clearly and naturally? Perhaps you'll try narrating your morning routine in English tomorrow. Or maybe integrate one new polite phrase you learned today into a conversation. Take that single, manageable step. As Myra and her circle discovered, every little bit of consistent practice genuinely makes a difference. And soon, you'll start to feel that powerful surge of confidence within yourself.
Absolutely. Start observing how others speak, make those conscious pauses, and remember to take those deep breaths when you need to. Clarity and confidence are absolutely within your reach, one thoughtful sentence at a time.
We really hope this deep dive has given you plenty to think about and even more to try out in your own life. Until next time, keep learning, keep connecting, and keep speaking your truth clearly.